Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get started in a bit. If we could just get ourselves settled for this auspicious occasion that we're going to get into. If you could just give us 60 seconds and count me down on that, I'm very sure it's going to be 60 seconds. We're going to get started shortly. Thank you so much for your patience. Yeah, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's doing well this cold Johannesburg afternoon. Can you turn to somebody and tell them something good that they're wearing on themselves this afternoon? Yeah, come on, man. Let's make the room even warmer. Nah, don't be jealous. Tell that person they look better than you, hey? Yeah, I see some of you are already exchanging business cards as well. You're going beyond just saying you look better. Well, my name is VTJ Masakona. I will be your master of ceremony this afternoon. I like walking around a bit and trying to keep contact with everybody in the room. Well, the only person that is called master for today is myself. There's no other master. Before we get going with our program this afternoon, I want to take this moment to acknowledge the minister in our midst, the minister of the Department of Transport. All the DOT members of the government protocols will be observed and are observed by myself at this point in time. Our wonderful and great CEO, the ATNS board, the executive senior managers workforce that are both live in the building and online, and partners as well that work with us in this industry. We welcome you to this wonderful and great occasion today, and we hope you're going to have a lovely time with us today. I'm excited because when we celebrate 30 years of ATNS, I'm not foreign to the concept of 30 years. I've been part of the 17 years of the 30 years of ATNS, and we're excited today. You look shocked, eh? Yeah, I'm not that old, but yeah, man. So we've been part of the 17 years of the 30 years, and it's been quite an awesome and a great journey that we have had together. As per custom and as per commitment as us as ATNS today, we want to take this moment before we get going the program just to offer a prayer and to acknowledge that God is the Almighty. He's the one that gives us the strength to do what we do and to achieve what we achieve. And it's not an enforcement to anybody, it's just an acknowledgement to God. So I'd like you to bow your heads and we just pray together this afternoon. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you that you have given us an opportunity to gather. We thank you that, Lord, we have made it thus far. And we thank you that, Father, it has not been only the ability of man, but it has also been you that has strengthened us. And we pray that, Lord, as we commence with this program this afternoon, Lord, lead us, guide us, direct us, and order our steps. In the mighty and precious name of Jesus Christ, we thank you and we honor you. Amen and amen. Do you still remember what's good about your neighbor? Come on, we can make the room a bit warmer. Do you still remember what's good about your neighbor? So everybody is probably going to be involved in the program today. So I have my program, you have yours. So just be a bit more flexible. Don't be rigid with me, right? Okay, ma'am. What did she appreciate about you?
She has about me.
about you.
Oh, she said I look beautiful today.
You can see some love flowing in the room, right? Let me put someone in the spot. What was appreciated about you, sir?
My tie.
I think they lied to you, eh? I'm not so sure. But thank you so much to everybody. We're going to get going with our program this wonderful afternoon, and I acknowledge everybody in the room, all protocols observed, especially our wonderful workforce of ATNS that are watching us online. Some of the guys are in their stations, they are in their positions, they are working as we speak, but these are the people that have made ATNS to become what it has become today. And we want to totally appreciate them and acknowledge them in this day. We're going to get the order of the day going. And right in the top of the list of my order of the day, we are going to be receiving the first speaker for this afternoon, which is our wonderful and great CEO. So I'm going to allow the guys at the back just to sort out what they need to sort out and play what needs to be played out. And then she's going to come up right after that. Thank you so much.
I am truly honored. Thank you so much. And I'm humbled and privileged to be part of this family. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for your support and your presence. Chairman of the Board of ATNS, you said Chairman of the Board of ATNS, the team from DOT, led by the DDG, Mr. Twala, responsible for aviation, the team from ATNS, the board members of ATNS, as well as the new executives that have been appointed, the new and the former executives that are here as well as the industry players. I see the CEO of FlySafe Air. Thank you so much for coming. Mr. Tudi, thank you so much for coming from the South African Air Force. So we are privileged to have this occasion, as well as the employees from ATNS. Thank you so much for the support. Today we're celebrating a very important milestone, and that is the 30 years of ATNS. ATNS was birthed in 1993. But to be honest with you, last year we celebrated the ATCs, the 100 years anniversary of ATCs, meaning that we have managed to keep the skies safe for more than 100 years. It was at the time when ATNS was not established at that particular time. They were both established as entities in 1993, ATNS as well as AXA, Airports Company South Africa. So on that note, we salute and appreciate those that kept this organization up until now. In fact, I know of a few of our employees that are also celebrating 30 years this year, including Mr. Ahmed, who's not here. I think he's online because we've got some of our employees online. There's quite a number of employees that are 30 years celebrating this 30-year milestone. In fact, if I could say as well that we would not be here if it wasn't because of them. Highly appreciated. You kept the organization going. Executives of ATNS, we thank you for keeping the organization running it prudently, as well as making sure that you employ the best talent. I always say that ATNS has got talent. I have seen it. I have experienced it. I have they've also demonstrated their talent. I appreciate it as well. On that note, we also appreciate what anchored ATNS into the continent. That would be ATA, the ATNS Academy, Training Academy. We had helped us to launch ATNS in the continent. Today, we're doing more than what we are doing at ATNS. On that note, I also want to acknowledge our partners from Arion. Thank you so much, Mr. Don Toma and Mr. Stuart Radcliffe, for being here. We appreciate the support and the direction that you have given us in terms of what is happening in this world, the technologies, the best technologies that we can deploy for our operations to ensure that we offer safe and reliable and efficient operations as part of our mandate. We truly appreciate it and welcome to ATNS. On that note, I just also want to welcome every single person. Who am I referring to here? The students that are doing the drone training under the NSU Academy. We've got the head of NSU Academy here, Mr. Twala, who is whom we have partnership under the ESD, Enterprise Supplier Development. We have deployed, or rather partnered, where we sponsored drones, and they're currently doing drone training or ARPAS training on our behalf. We've got the students that are coming from the schools that we have in the past and even today that we've sponsored on the STEM opportunities. In other words, we've provided science laboratories, maths laboratories in those schools. And what we are doing, if we offer support in the school, like the laboratories that we have offered, we then go back and say, what else do they require? We've done that with the students that are here, and I thank you for being here. There are in total 22, but today we've got 10 that are celebrating with us, and thank you so much for coming. They're doing drone training. They started last week from the 10th to the 14th of July, and they'll continue doing the training for 8 weeks, and we are working towards getting employment for them where they have internship or attachments to organizations where they can do internship. So thank you so much. And thank you to the team that made sure that we are able to do this for the students. What we've also done is that we started a new winter school in the month of July. We had about I can't remember the number of the students, but they were here last week. We started the winter school. They're coming from all provinces, and they were flown to Gauteng. Most of them, they've never had an experience of flying into Gauteng. They were flown to Gauteng, and they're part of our winter school. We're starting a winter school, and we believe that we'll continue doing this work. We've partnered with EdLink as well to do some activities. On the 26th of July, we'll be doing a competition where they'll be developing a technology for the aviation industry. So all in all, we're getting young men and women from the rural areas coming to ATA, being trained on or being exposed to aviation sector, but also being trained in the aviation sector. So on that note, welcome to everyone. I will stop at this point because if I continue, I'll start preaching and I think it will take the whole day. Thank you so much to the industry as well for supporting us, for making sure that we are here. We'll continue. We commit that we will continue offering safe, reliable, and efficient operations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, our lovely and esteemed Chief Executive Officer of ATNS. One of the things that I experienced in joining ATNS, which was in 2007, I was a young lighty all the way from high school. And I remember being taken out, coming into the ATA. The first day I came into the ATA, I was told that, you know what, you are coming in for a job interview. I thought to myself, at 19, a job interview, how's that going to work? You know, but I walked in here all dressed up in a suit. I think it was a worse suit than this one since I was not earning anything from ATNS at the time. But anyways, it was... Those are technicalities that happen, eh? It's not because I was preaching or anything like that. But anyways, so what the amazing thing was when you enter the room of ATNS is that already you are embraced as part, it's definitely not me this time around. You're definitely embraced as part of the family. Even before you register your name on any billboard or any contract or anything, everybody begins by embracing you. And this family environment is what has grown into 30 years later to what it has become today. And we appreciate and we acknowledge the good work that ATNS has done. Everybody looks very tense in the room. Am I that boring, eh? Okay, you can smile a little bit better. Okay, I see 4 teeth, maybe 28 more remaining to 32. There. Look, I'm going to go across the room just quickly. I've got about two minutes or 3 minutes that I can waste around. Just a message of support and appreciation for ATNS and what ATNS has done. So you look like somebody dressed to speak to me today. I see you. I know this jacket is new, man. What stuff can you tell us today about just a word of appreciation to ATNS?
Wow. Today I'm Keynote from the South African Air Force. I'm representing Chief of the Air Force today. But just to say on the 19th, in fact, Memoda, we can just also testify in this regard. We've signed a memorandum of a master cooperation of agreement between the two organizations in terms of moving forward, actually, and providing better service, if I can put it that way, between the two organizations. Is all I can just say. It is just a step forward, and there's something that one can always embrace and say, that's a good relationship that the two organizations have started, even though it was there before. But I think from now on it will be efficient, if I can put it that way. Say. Thank you so much.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much. Ma'am, you look like you're dressed for the camera today. You definitely look like you're dressed for the camera. Come on, let's appreciate her. Let's applaud her. What can you say? Words of appreciation to ATNS.
Good. It's good day. Good day, Minister, CEO, Chairperson, and DDG Twala, and everybody in the room. I would love to say I'm Nozi Pontlapo from the National Department of Transport, Office of the Minister, Protocol to Minister of Transport. I would like to say keep up the good work, and I'm one kind of a person that whenever I'm in the sky, I'm always know that I'm safe. After I've learned a lot. The first time I took a flight, I was so terrified. And whenever it was doing that, the tablets, I was like, oh, now we are dying. But after getting the knowing what's happening and being made sure that when it's doing that, you are not going to die. I'm saying keep up the good work, and thank you very much for keeping us safe.
Thank you so much. I knew she flies a lot. I could see it. She's got a bit of miles behind her right now. But we just want to take the moment to really give everybody as much as we can across the room the opportunity to be able to celebrate with ATNS today. Well, my next, I think, okay, let's do this. Let's rather do it this way. I'll pick you up when I need you. Is this much better? I think this will be much better. It's just that it's going to ground me here because grounding is part of air traffic control as well. Yeah, some of us are grounded. Hey, come on, someone. Okay, just before we get on to our next speaker that's going to come and join me on the podium, I want to go through this as best and as thriftily as I can to go through the profile of our next speaker that's speaking for or rather to us this afternoon. But before I get into that, I want to also encourage everybody that's online. We are watching you. Please do send messages of applause and appreciation. We'll try and get through to them as soon as we can. Chairman Mr. Zola Majavu is a sole proprietor of a law firm practicing under the name of Majavu Incorporated. He was admitted as an attorney of the High Court in 1995 and lectured final year LLB students at the University of Witwatersrand Law Clinic until the year 2000, whilst practicing for his own account. His fields of expertise include, among others, labor law, matrimonial law, criminal law, commercial law, sports law, general litigation, and public sector related matters. He continues to hold various leadership positions. Some key experience areas that we can talk about when it comes to this great man: legal, admitted attorney of the High Court of South Africa with the right of appearance in high courts, including constitutional courts, whose areas of practice include arbitration, legal advisory services, civil litigation, personal injury claims, and many others, corporate governance, a chartered director of the Institute of Directors, IOD, and currently the chairman of Board of Road Traffic Management Corporation, RTMC. In the past, he served as a board member in various institutions, including Gauteng Gambling Board, Sentlek, who wholly owned by the city of Mangaung Municipality, G Fleet, former government garage in Gauteng, as the deputy chairperson and chairperson of the Legal and Strategic Committee. Some of the things that he has done in government: appointed by the Gauteng and Free State provincial governments to head a one-man commission of inquiry into the financial operations of various entities and municipalities in the year 2006 to 2008. Krugersdorp Town Council, Pumelela District Municipality, and many others. Current profession on occupations: appointed as attorney of courts of Lesotho Mountain Kingdom, specialist examiner of candidate attorneys board exams 2007 to current, member of the disciplinary committee of the Law Society of Northern Province, now Legal Practice Council 2007 to current. I could go on and on about this great man, but I want us to take a standing ovation as we honor and appreciate, coming up to the podium, Mr. Zola Majavu, who's coming to address us at this point in time. You can do a warmer clap than that. Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to the undying spirit of Tata Madiba Rolihlahla Mandela, without whom none of us would be sitting here in the echelons of what used to be an untransformed industry. Not that we have managed to transform fully the aviation industry, but that great man laid the ground on which we walk. We climbed on his broad shoulders. Happy birthday, posthumously, Madiba. 10 years since your passing, the torch still shines, and we dare not fail you. Honorable Minister, Ms. Sindisiwe Chikunga, I almost said Comrade Chikunga. I'm wearing a government hat, so I better behave. The Deputy Minister, Honorable Manu, who is standing in for the minister in other government duties, the DG of Transport, a colleague, Advocate James Mlau, the DDG of Transport responsible for aviation, Mr. Zakele Twala, my dear sister, the CEO of South African Civil Aviation, Ms. Poppy Khoza, my other dear sister, Sis Mpumi Mpofu, CEO of Airports Company South Africa, both of whom are joining virtually, and they are accordingly with us. Mr. Aaron Munetsi, Mr. Kev Story from CASA, George Mutema from Barsa, Ms. Elmarie Conradi from SAFE, Colonel Tudi from the South African Air Force, CEO of Arian, Mr. Don Toma, the product manager, Stuart Ratcliffe, to whom I shall return in a bit, fellow ATNS board colleagues, fit for purpose workforce at ATNS, the border Department of Transport family, invited guests, and all stakeholders present here today, and those who are with us in soul, spirit, and virtually. Good day. Minister, it is my great pleasure to welcome you here to this event. It's a bit of mixed feelings. If my grandmother knew that one day I would be standing before aviators and an aviation company under the auspices of our democratic government, she would say, my son, you are in dreamland, but I know she's smiling down upon us, and she is probably cracking a joke with Madiba about how proud all of us continue to make them. We are very honored to celebrate our 30th anniversary in the same month as the global community is celebrating the life of Nelson Rolihlahla, otherwise fondly known to us as Tata, as well as observing the 10th year since his passing. Air Traffic Navigation Services has a mandate to provide air traffic services in an efficient and safe manner within the South African airspace. And in order for the ATNS to meet its mandatory obligations, the attraction, development, and retention of core and critical skills are of utmost importance to meet these business imperatives and to do so in a sustainable manner. Ladies and gentlemen, as a state-owned enterprise, we are proud to say that we have not only delivered in terms of our mandate, but we have also delivered on the expectations of the South African public in providing safe, expeditious, and efficient air traffic management services in South Africa and elsewhere where our span of control reaches. Sis Nosipo, you're not the only one who was scared upon undertaking that first trip in the skies. To our partners, I can guarantee you that you'll be surprised that there are still some in this auditorium who have never had the privilege of flying. And sometimes we take these for granted. And it is precisely for that acknowledgement that we do not take our partnership with yourselves for granted. We are an emerging economy that punches way above its weight, and we aspire to be amongst the best standing shoulder to shoulder. But we're under no illusion that we can do this alone. We are because you are. And I'm pleased to inform you that a few minutes before we started with these proceedings, we just concluded a further bilateral agreement with Orion, whose benefits can only make us grow in leaps and bounds. May I pause at this stage and request us to put our hands together as we recognize this ongoing relationship. It is for this reason that I, on behalf of the collective I'm privileged to lead, the EXCO and staff of the ATNS family, wish to acknowledge and recognize the role that our aviation stakeholders have and continue to play in our space, as well as the entire aviation ecosystem. The support we have received from the Honorable Minister is immeasurable. It goes back many years. Let me brag about you, Minister, for a second. She may be new in her current portfolio as the Groot Crocodile, the current boss now as the Minister of Transport. But she's not new in the transport sector. Incidentally, she has been probably the longest serving Deputy Minister of Transport. But for some reason, those with whom she served gave her the rare honor to champion specialized entities. So she was responsible for the aviation sector, maritime, just to name a few. Those are highly specialized. So she's not a newbie when it comes to aviation. And when, in our view, we thought her time had come, I remember myself and the CEO said a silent prayer, and we said, God, let the God of politics, let her ascend, because we do not wish to restart the wheel. It was not meant in a condescending manner, Minister. It came from a good place because we knew what you are capable of and where your passion lies, especially as a driver of transformation. And the God I serve never disappoints. He may take time, but in his own time, he does know how to answer. And when he does answer, he answered correctly. 48 hours later, boom, we are now having the deputy minister, now the minister. So the passion for aviation did not hit a start-stop button. It's just a continuation, if you like. And for that, I wish to thank whoever had the presence of mind to say, that is our worthy candidate. May we put our hands together and thank those who deployed her. It may sound insignificant, but I deliberately wished to make the point because in many instances, when a rotation at leadership happens, it results in us pressing the reset button and starting all over again. And in so doing, we lose the momentum of continuity. Thankfully, in this instance, we are lucky in that that didn't have to happen. You can let her speak on any item, on any topic, unscripted on aviation. She will deliver. Precisely because she lives it, it's her passion. We share a common passion of transformation, especially on these previously exclusive preserves of other racial groups in our country. So it is something about which we have to consciously speak, act, walk the talk, and talk the walk. I say this in all humility, but with a firmness of conviction that I can master. Aviation is not an exclusive preserve of some, but those who have the skill and the wherewithal and opportunities properly supported by the likes of you, Arion, so that we can make sure that our airspace is not only safe, but you also provide opportunities and create employment for those who would otherwise not have that opportunity. It is against that background and context that we pride ourselves with the partnership that we have with the likes of Ntsu and training young black girls and boys on drone licensing or drone operations or unmanned aircraft. I see one of my board members is giving me the eye because he says the word drone is a term of art which he hates with a passion. But we all know what we're talking about. He shall remain nameless. With the support of our government and especially the shareholder, the ATNS has become a transformed entity. Of course, there's still more that can be done. All areas of its operations from where I stand reflect the demographics of this country. something about which we should be proud. And we owe that to Madiba, to Oliver Tambo, and those who made the sacrifice and never lived to see the benefits of their toil. On a lighter note, Don, I remember when Mandela was released from prison, I was part of the reception committee as a lighty then. And it was a struggle to get him into a plane because typical Madiba style, he wanted to greet everyone. And in the cockpit was a young black fellow. And Madiba was not very happy. And he doubted whether this young man is going to take me back to Johannesburg. And he was assured by those who were better positioned to say, yes, he will get there. And fast forward a few years later, he ended up with a black captain. And he would insist on being flown by that specific gentleman, a dear friend of mine who shall remain nameless. But the point of the matter is, it's things that we often take for granted. When he went to jail, he was flown in that crappy aircraft to Cape Town, taken in a crappy ship to Robben Island, all of which were operated by non-white, or rather non-black persons. Now he comes back and the world is just on the verge of changing. And it is as a result of those sacrifices that we thought we should accelerate the process of transformation. It is important that that history is not lost, so that when our leadership speak, we understand where they're coming from. They're not politicking, but they're saying what needs to be said, so that such realities are not distorted. Together as a team, with the support of my board, the executives, and all the employees of the ATNS and the broader transport family, we are vigorously working on changing the air traffic management service industry's landscape for the better. And we make no apologies for that. Honorable Minister, as a result of the commitment of the men and women at the ATNS, this organization stands as one of the leading navigation services providers in the continent today. Tomorrow we are leaving for Zambia, for COMESA, on a mandate which you have deployed us to undertake. To paraphrase, ATNS is one of the founding members of the Civil Aviation Services Organization, CANSO, and currently holds the deputy chairpersonship of CANSO Africa in a soul no less than our own. This reflects our commitment not only to enhancing South Africa's airspace safety, but also that of a responsible citizen of the country. Mention will be made by our CEO of how we have and continue to this day empower our youth as well as the SMMEs. We are forging partnerships with various aviation entities and countries to the benefit and safety of all who fly in and over the continent. ATNS is at the forefront of skills development and innovation and plays major developmental and transformative role in the industry. This endeavor is supported by our Air Training Academy, in whose premises we are all located today, which, by the way, has been voted the best IATA Best Training Academy in the world for 3 years in a row. If that does not deserve a round of applause, I don't know what does. This is a reflection of our determination to be a hub of excellence. It is our recalibrated, agile business model to not only be a center of excellence, but to position the ATNS as a preferred service provider. We will continue, Minister, to provide the safety levels that the South African flying public has come to expect and not to take for granted, load shedding or no load shedding. In the 2 to 3 years, the aviation industry has been affected by a COVID-19 pandemic, which has reduced global aviation growth. Whilst the continent's passenger and cargo airline industry is still on the recovery mode, albeit at a slower pace. Africa has been identified as having a huge economic growth and development potential. Otherwise, Arion, you wouldn't be here. The executive summary of the National Development Plan 2030, as tabled by the National Planning Commission, states that while the achievement of its objectives requires progress on a broad front, 4 priorities stand out. And those are the raising employment through faster economic growth, improving the quality of education, skills development and innovation, and most importantly, building the capability of a state to play a developmental and transformative role. The Department of Transport, as a shareholder, has developed key performance areas, some of which are aimed at promoting skills development, Minister, within the air traffic management sphere. Minister and Deputy Minister, our government, you can rest assured that we are equal to the task. In conclusion, I would like to acknowledge and appreciate the continual support by our government, my colleagues in the board, the executive committee, internal and external stakeholders in making this entity what it has become and what it can possibly still become as we reclaim our space in the global community. The center shall and will continue to hold. I thank you.
Mr. Majavu, I think my microphone is off. Let me walk down quickly. Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful order of speech. But I would like you to do us the honor of introducing a wonderful minister for us. My boots, I think it's a size 2, will not fit for me to do that. Thank you so much.
You know, if you're baptized in the Congress tradition, they say you swim or sink. And if you are deployed, you don't say why. You just say, how quickly should I execute the mandate? I thought I creatively infused my introduction in the speech that I made, but nevertheless, because you are the only master, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce a leader, a comrade, a sister, a shareholder, a listener, a mentor who needs no introduction. Honorable Minister, today I decide that you are to be excused from the NEC temporarily so that we can have the privilege and honor of being addressed by you. Honorable Minister Sindisiwe Chikunga.
Thank you very much, Program Director. And let me recognize the chairperson of the board of the ATNS, Mr. Zola Majavu, members of the board of the ATNS, Deputy Director General responsible for aviation branch in the Department of Transport, Mr. Zakele Twala, Chief Executive Officer of the ATNS, Ms. Nozipho Mndawe, other CEOs of both AXA and SACA, senior officials of the Department of Transport, captains of the aviation industry in our midst, ATNS executive management and staff, invited guests, all those that are joining us online, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we gather here to celebrate a momentous occasion, the 30-year journey of excellence, accomplishment, dedication of Air Traffic Navigation Services Limited in South Africa. On this day in 1993, a visionary step was taken and our nation's aviation industry was forever transformed. This landmark anniversary marks 3 decades of unwavering commitment to safety, efficiency, and innovation in the aviation industry. As the speakers will take to the podium and those that have already spoken after this address and before this address, it is critical that we reflect on this remarkable milestone. Let us explore the journey that has shaped ATNS into the beacon of excellence it is today. We need to know how it all began, as to what were the aspirations and visions of the first democratic government for the aviation industry. How was the ATNS revolutionizing the development and growth of the air traffic management and navigation services in South Africa, the continent, global over the past 3 decades? Looking forward, what are ATNS aspirations and plans for coming years? How will it continue to lead and inspire the aviation community? As we answer these questions, it becomes evident that ATNS has been much more than just an air traffic navigation services provider. It has become a catalyst for progress, a guardian of safety, and an enabler of dreams. Since its establishment in 1993 on the 21st of July, ATNS has played a critical role in our country's aviation sector and beyond, providing efficient, affordable, safe, secure, and accessible aviation navigation and communication systems and services that are essential for South Africa and, of course, the broader African continent and the world. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 decades ago, a team of dedicated professionals embarked on a journey to enhance the safety and efficiency of our skies. We pay tribute to the visionaries who played pivotal roles in the formation and growth of the ATNS. Amongst them and the key figures are the chief executive officers who led this groundbreaking organization. And they are Mr. Gerrie Coetzee, Mr. Johan van Vulenhoven, Ms. Renel Stander, the icon Mr. Patrick Dlamini, the stellar Mr. Thabani Mthiane, and the brilliant and current CEO, Ms. Nozipho Mndawe, the second female CEO to lead this organization. Their unwavering determination and passion for aviation laid foundation and have left an indelible mark on what we proudly recognize as the air traffic navigation services of South Africa. When I joined the Department of Transport, I was delegated to oversight the ATNS amongst other SOEs. The ATNS CEO then was Mr. Patrick Dlamini, a visionary with a keen understanding of the aviation landscape, who brought to the table a wealth of knowledge and experience. His foresight and strategic thinking paved the way for a service that would not only enhance safety, but also elevate the efficiency of our airspace management. As a leader, Mr. Patrick Dlamini's unwavering commitment to excellence and safety set the standard for the entire aviation industry. He was thereafter followed by the late Mr. Thabani Mthiane, who took the baton and ran with the vision. Mr. Mthiane brought a unique perspective to the table. With a deep technical expertise and a passion for innovation, he played a critical role in integrating cutting-edge technologies into the air traffic navigation services. Under his guidance, the service embraced modern systems that have propelled the organization to become one of the most advanced and reliable navigation services in the world. We now have Ms. Nozipho Mndawe, the current ATNS CEO, who resumed office in April last year. She hit the ground running, and she's bringing fresh, innovative solutions to the organization. In her hands, we believe that we are shaping the ATNS of the future, which will continue to claim and sustain its position in the global arena by providing cutting-edge air traffic management solutions. Over the past 30 years, the air traffic navigation services has achieved remarkable milestones under the stewardships of these CEOs, from implementing state-of-the-art air traffic control systems to ensuring seamless coordination between air traffic controllers and pilots. Their vision and guidance have shaped the service into what it is today. While their contributions have been significant, they would be the first to acknowledge that their success is a result of the collective efforts of a dedicated team. The boards, the executive management, the staff, including air traffic controllers, engineers, technicians, as well as the support staff, all working tirelessly behind the scenes. And these have been the backbone of the services success. The poignant contribution that have been made by ATNS board of directors have significantly contributed to what the organization is today. I must say, many boards have represented the shareholder very well and carried out their fiduciary duties with patriotism and selflessness. They have provided leadership and space for the organization to strive. To the current board, led by the chairperson, Advocate Majavu, please know that South Africa stands on your shoulders. Your remarkable contributions to build a progressive developmental state, as well as a developed ATNS out of South Africa, will be engraved in the hallmark of this nation's history. Program Director, on behalf of the people of South Africa, we salute these men and women who have tirelessly worked to make ATNS a symbol of excellence. Your dedication, passion, and resilience have shaped this company into what it is today, an organization that exemplifies the best of what South Africa has to offer. Program Director, reflecting on the past 30 years, we cannot help but marvel at the numerous milestones and achievements that have shaped this service. From humble beginnings to become a cutting-edge organization, the air traffic navigation services has continuously evolved to meet the demands of a dynamic and rapidly growing aviation landscape. Let me remind you of the few milestones that ATNS has actually traveled. 1993, ATNS is founded, and that was on the 21st of July, 1993. 1995, the ATNS College was established to provide air traffic and navigation related training. The college that was established in 1995 is now called the ATNS Training Academy, ranking amongst the best in the world, and have trained air traffic controllers who have progressed in their career paths and have occupied international positions in a plethora of world-class organizations. One of these is the former president of the International Civil Aviation Organization, the one who was from Nigeria. 1996, ATNS upgraded the Durban International and Port Elizabeth control towers. 1998, ATNS received ISO accreditation. 1999, ATNS installed the satellite surveillance and communication system for the Indian Ocean area, which at the time was a new high-frequency radio system. 2000, ATNS got awarded a contract for aeronautical surveying by the FAA of the United States of America. 2007, ATNS launched Safety Management System. 2009, ATNS constructed the King Shaka International Airport Tower, Control Tower. 2011, ATNS installed and commissioned the Total Control 3D Aerodrome Control Simulator. 2012, it was the inauguration of the NEFISAT Master Backup Terminal in Uganda. Launch of the ATNS Africa Aviation Innovation Summit also took place in 2012. 2013, ATNS launched the Aeronautical Management Development Program in conjunction with University of Witwatersrand Business School. 2014, 2015, Aerion and ATNS signed a regional commercialization agreement for space-based ADS-B data in South Africa. 2017, ATNS is certified or was certified as a top employer out of 200 companies from 33 African countries. 2018, ATNS Winter School Program attracted 100 matric learners from 9 high schools in the Eastern Cape province. The program focused on STEM subjects proficiency. 2019, ATNS launched company-wide e-library service. Its library is named Ulwazi iCenter and gives staff access to e-books in all national libraries. 2021, ATNS and AMSCO signed MOU to assist ATNS with evaluating and configuration projects or programs, and that contract management in CNS and IT. 2022, ATNS joins the global aviation community to celebrate 100 years of ATC. 2023, ATNS CEO elected Aikayo Afi region as deputy chair at the AFI 3 meeting held in Geneva, Switzerland. ATNS again in 2023 is designated as a sole provider of air traffic services in South Africa. As such, its operations cover all airports in South Africa. Even in 2023, communication still forms the cornerstone of ATNS service, and we maintain a firm view that ATNS plays a key role in ensuring adequate communication with drones, either through the deployment of infrastructure or personnel. It is important to recognize that the ATNS commenced with a space-based automatic dependent surveillance broadcast service operational trials in 2022, and I think the chairperson mentioned this, with the objective to evaluate the deployment viability of the technology to support the current surveillance environment within our area of responsibility. The operational trial performance analysis outcome validated that our space-based ADS-B system associated with ADS-B data performance, as well as all components within the broader air traffic management system, met operational requirements, surveillance coverage, and redundancy performance standards. The processes to deploy the systems operationally are currently unfolding and will open additional surveillance capabilities for ATNS. The main benefit of the system of ATNS is the fact that its performance is not confined to terrestrial restraints and conditions. The company operates a larger area of oceanic space, and this technology will enhance ATNS surveillance coverage in the oceanic airspace. These 30 years milestones highlight ATNS progress, achievements, and contributions to the aviation and air traffic management industry in Africa as well as in the world. Throughout its journey, this service has encountered its fair share of challenges, including the disruption of COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 had a profound impact on the aviation sector, including the air traffic management space. The pandemic resulted in significant disruptions and challenges for aviation industry, leading to unprecedented declines in air travels and revenue. However, the sector has also shown resilience and adaptation, with some signs of recovery in certain areas. It is commendable that the ATNS has shown positive economic recovery efforts. However, it is vital to address urgent challenges such as modernization and digitization, cybersecurity, and the implementation of an environmental management system, strengthening expenditure management and internal controls to eliminate irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure for us is very critical. As the aviation sector navigates its recovery, there is a renewed focus on enhancing health and safety protocols, digitalization, and sustainability. The industry's ability to adapt to changing circumstances will play a crucial role in its journey towards long-term recovery and growth. Program Director, with every obstacle, ATNS has been able to emerge stronger and more resilient. The commitment of its staff, the use of advanced technologies, and a relentless pursuit of excellence have all played a crucial role in overcoming these hurdles. One of the core values that has driven the air traffic navigation services is safety. Above all else, safety remains the paramount priority. Countless lives have been entrusted to capable hands of air traffic controllers that we train here and aviation experts, and their unwavering dedication to safety has ensured that millions of passengers reach their destinations safely and securely. In addition to safety, this service has demonstrated unparalleled professionalism and efficiency. The seamless coordination between air traffic controllers and pilots, the meticulous planning of flight routes, and the optimization of airspace usage have all contributed to a more streamlined and sustainable aviation sector. As we look ahead to the future, let us envision an even more promising horizon for air traffic navigation services in South Africa, embracing innovation, adopting cutting-edge technologies, and nurturing the next generation of aviation professionals. These will be vital in steering this service towards continued success. Esteemed guests, as a trusted partner within the global air transport industry, ATNS has been an active participant in various international safety initiatives. Collaborating with international aviation bodies, regulatory authorities, and fellow air navigation services providers, ATNS has contributed to the development and implementation of cutting-edge safety protocols and best practices. By actively sharing knowledge and experiences, ATNS has not only elevated its own capabilities, but also contributed to the collective safety of the global aviation community. Beyond safety, ATNS has played a transformative role in bolstering the significance of air transport as a vital and essential global service. ATNS has facilitated seamless connections to the rest of the world, fostering international trade, tourism, and cultural exchange. The efficient management of our airspace has significantly reduced flight delays and congestions, making air travel more attractive and reliable for passengers and businesses alike. A well-functioning aviation sector creates numerous direct and indirect job opportunities. It stimulates economic growth and prosperity. By improving connectivity to remote regions and encouraging investment, ATNS has contributed to regional development, empowering communities and improving their quality of life. Program Director, our Aviation Training Academy is a premier provider of air traffic services and indeed aviation training, not only in South Africa, but on a continental scale. Being an ICAO Regional Training Center of Excellence, our training products are world-class, stretching beyond just ATC training, but many other disciplines across the aviation value chain. In fact, we have trained aviation personnel from around 32 African countries over the years. African airspace, which is 6% of the world airspace, is that much safer due to the contributions of our academy. The specialist nature of ATC training and the current gap within the academic space in providing training for aspiring ATCs means that we are the primary providers of such training in the country. Consequently, ATNS serves as the primary employer of air traffic controllers. As a consequence, the model by design is entirely attractive to aspiring ATCs. We are addressing that by moving the ATC training model into the academic space through appropriate registration with the Department of Higher Education and Training and accreditation with the Council on Higher Education. The ATNS Academy has received numerous awards that recognizes its excellent service offerings. In 2016 to date, the Training Academy has continuously been awarded the IATA Worldwide Top Regional Training Partner of the Year and designated as IATA's Premier Circle member. Furthermore, the Academy has been recognized as the ICAO Regional Training Center of Excellence. And this doesn't happen by itself, but it is because of you who make this training academy a center of excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, the presence of efficient and transportation creates market opportunities for local entrepreneurs. Businesses gain access regional and global economic centers. They can tap as businesses, let me say this, gain access to regional and global economic centers. they can tap into new markets and forge international partnerships. This stimulates innovation, competitiveness, and entrepreneurship, propelling economic centers to thrive and encouraging investment in various industries. The growth of air transport also enhances regional development by connecting remote areas to economic hubs and facilitating investment in previous underserved regions. In the context of the National Development Plan, Vision 2030, the ATNS has contributed significantly to economic growth, job creation, poverty alleviation, and the eradication of inequality. Therefore, this celebration is not only to commemorate past achievements, but also an opportunity to envision a future filled with ever and even greater accomplishment for this organization. As we gather here today to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Air Traffic Navigation Services of South Africa, we must also recognize the pivotal role of aviation in shaping Africa's future and its place on the global stage. The African Union's visionary initiative, that is the Single African Air Transport Market, which is SATM, stands as a testament to our commitment to prioritizing the development of aviation within our continent and forging meaningful partnership to overcome the challenges we face. SATM, identified as one of the key Agenda 2063 flagship projects, seeks to create a single air transport market in Africa through liberalizing intra-African air transport services. By granting eligible airline markets access and traffic rights for scheduled and freight air services, SATM aims to improve air services, connectivity, and air carrier efficiencies across the continent. This collaborative effort in establishing a single air transport market in Africa is indeed essential, as it addresses the impediments we face, such as the lack of aviation experts and skills, high airport taxes and fees, weak connectivity, and restrictions on transit visas and facilities. By working together, we can surmount these obstacles and unlock the potential of aviation to drive economic growth, regional integration, and prosperity for Africa. Air travel is essential to the prosperity of Africa as it opens up opportunities that did not exist before, giving impetus to the growth and development of the African aviation industry is one of the most important drivers of regional integration in the continent. Better connected Africa and better connected African countries and regions through a viable air transport industry can be the catalyst to boost intra-African business, trade, tourism, as well as cultural exchanges I've indicated. Developing the aviation industry also represents an invaluable opportunity to mitigate chronic transport problems faced by 16 landlocked African countries. The ATNS is a technology-driven entity. Therefore, by design, technical competencies remain the backbone of ensuring that we provide service excellence, we become sustainable and innovative. We are pleased that the ATNS participates and leads some of these initiatives in the Africa and Indian Ocean Island. These also include Indian Ocean Island region, such as Kanzo, Mombasa ATFM, roadmap, and SWIMS implementation for the AFI region, through the provision of specialized skills as well as supporting infrastructure. ATNS also plays a critical role in international bodies such as Kanzo World. As we celebrate 30 years of ATNS dedication to air navigation services in Africa, we also celebrate the positive impact it has had on our nation's economic growth and development. Let us recognize the profound contribution of all those involved in ATNS, as well as the aviation industry as a whole, in promoting economic prosperity and making our skies safer and more connected than ever before. Together, we look forward to a future of continued growth and progress as the air transportation remains a driving force behind South Africa's economic success. As I conclude, I must say that the journey and legacy of the air traffic navigation services in South Africa over the past 30 years is one of dedication, commitment to safety, innovation, service excellence, and progress. As we celebrate this milestone, we must also embrace the future with determination and collaboration as we forge ahead towards a more interconnected, prosperous, and innovative aviation industry for South Africa. I say congratulations, ATNS, on 30 years of exceptional service to the aviation community. Yes, to an even brighter and safer future for our skies. It's time to soar, it's time to soar to new heights. Happy birthday, ATNS. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, ATNS. Happy birthday to you. Happy.
Thank you so much, Minister. Thank you so much, Minister, for that wonderful acknowledgement as well. Can I have my roaming mic on? I'll definitely switch this one off, I promise. Thank you so much, Minister, for the wonderful time and the wonderful words of acknowledgement that have been given to us. I want to take this time before we get on with our program to acknowledge. I don't know how many of you noticed how many times Minister said program director. I mean, if we can go across the room and just find out how many. I counted, hey? I really did. I counted. I think it was 5 times you acknowledged the program director. I mean, this person must be very important, eh? Who is this person? But thank you so much. I want to go across the room and just lighten up the room a bit. And we want to take the moment to acknowledge all the 380 plus staff and employees of ATNS that are online on different social media platforms, including our Twitter and YouTube and Facebook as well. Thank you so much, guys. These are the people that make it work and that make it happen. And I'll be back on my podium shortly. Sir, you look like somebody who bought their hat just to speak today. You've got flu. You want to whisper? He doesn't want to whisper. He actually just told me that he's nominating the lady seated next to him just to share some 2 words of appreciation for ATNS, ma'am.
Good afternoon, leadership of ATNS. Good afternoon to the Minister, Chairperson of the board, the board members, ATNS employees, our students, and possibly also future ATCs. My name is Gail Serema. I am working for ATNS in the Human Capital Department. Yeah, I think today is a beautiful day, and we really appreciate that we have gotten up to this far. As much as we are celebrating 30 years, you know, our ATCs have continued to do the wonderful work of making sure that the skies are safe. Not only in South Africa, the oceanic and the whole world. So it is really, you know, much appreciated. And the master of ceremonies himself, you know, keeps the skies safe. When you go to Wonderboom, you must know that he might be the one who's actually making sure that you are safe. So I think we also need to appreciate him, you know, as one of our, you know, good talents that we have. Thank you so much.
Talk about deflecting the attention. I see you. I see you. I see you. But it's such a wonderful thing. I'm told that the program director will also get free flight tickets on the next speaker that's just coming to speak that I'm nominating. Sir, what would you like to say about ATNS in 30 years? I see them to all destinations in South Africa for free to the program director right now.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, the chairperson of the board of ATNS and board members, and all our stakeholders in aviation are here. That says something about the occasion. 30 years to me is a generation. And this organization existed for the whole generation with a very excellent safety record. You'll recall that years ago there was turbulence all over, and the former president went to Libya. It was ATNS that made sure that he lands safe in Libya. ATNS today, you find it everywhere. Your predecessor, Honorable at that time, Balula, went to Doha during the World Cup. He was ushered into the control center of the aircrafts there. And people who were manning that center were members who came from ATNS, were South Africans who were recruited to make sure that everyone who flies into Doha are safe. This says something about this organization. Do you want me to say more?
I think the only thing you left, sir, is the free flight tickets for the program director. I don't know who you are, but I know you can make it happen. Come on. I'm not sure who you are, but I know you can make it happen. On the ATNS board, we have some expertise, diverse expertise that are on the board as well. We've got 3 pilots that are part of the board. And we pride ourselves in making sure that all stakeholders and all parts of the aviation industry is represented well in the board as it is. We've got the chairman, who is also a pilot, the General Ngema, who is also a pilot, and Dr. Chris Berger, who is also a pilot, and the program director, who's soon to be a pilot as well, somewhere at the back, and is coming up somewhere. So we pride ourselves in making sure that the whole stakeholdership of aviation is represented. And as we make decisions, critical decisions, and getting people to Libya and all, we make sure that we do this with all of this expertise involved. My time is running away from me, but I will try and definitely redeem it as we go along. Next on our program, we have a representative who is coming to speak to us, or 2 representatives rather, that are coming to speak to us. And first on the podium, before I go through his profile, we're going to receive the NTSU Drone Academy head to come and speak on behalf of the NTSU Drone Academy. And right after him, he will introduce one of the students that is going to come and show what ATNS partnership with NTSU has done to train the students in drone flying. And his profile is quite, I saw it when it was sent to me by himself. It said short bio. I'm just not sure how much he left out, but it says short bio. But Mr. Sam Twala obtained bachelor's degree in electronic engineering from the University of Pretoria. He also obtained a master's degree in aviation from Massey University in New Zealand in 2016. He worked for the South African Civil Aviation Authority from 2011 as a certification engineer and later as unmanned aircraft systems specialist. Amongst others, his responsibilities included development of the regulations and technical standards for remotely piloted aircraft systems. Sam served as a special advisor to the South African member of the International Civil Aviation Organization on Unmanned Aircraft Study Group, and later served as a member of ALPES panel from its inception until 2016. He also served as the member of the Joint Authorities of Rulemaking of Unmanned Systems, which is JARUS. He worked at ATNS as a senior systems engineer with focus on communication, surveillance, and navigation systems, which is CNS in short. He is a recipient of European UVS International Catherine Forgen Award in 2015 and a published author of Drone Professionals 3. Ladies and gentlemen, if we could put our hands together as we welcome Mr. Sam Twala on behalf of NTSU. Let's appreciate him a bit more, a bit warmer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Program Director. Hopefully you're going to keep count as well, how many times I say that while I'm here.
1.
Thank you very much. And I'm very much honored to be here, I must say. thank you very much to ATNS. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Mr. Twala, and Chairman of ATNS board, including Ms. Mdawe. You know, as I was sitting there and listening to the conversations and looking back where personally I come from, really, when I say it's an honor, I really mean it's an honor. And later I'm going to talk about the students who we are training through our academy to be drone pilot. And sometimes what I say, or most of the time when I have students who we are training to be drone pilots, one of the things that I say to them is, you know, once you complete this training, don't just look at yourself as a pilot and to try and find work out there, but you must go out there and create work for others. You know, that's what I would sometimes say. And the reason why I say that is because myself, I'm very much privileged in the sense that organizations that I worked for, they've really supported me. You know, the first organization which I worked for was Dinel. They paid for my studies, you know, my engineering studies as an engineer today. They really paid for my studies. I look at Civil Aviation Authority. I did my master's with Massey University in aviation, and who paid for that? It was Dinel. I mean, it was a Civil Aviation Authority under the leadership of Ms. Poppy Koza. And today, again, I'm standing here, and the reason why I'm standing here is because of a support that I got from ATNS leadership, Ms. Mdawe here. And I envisioned this moment really 5 years ago when I left ATNS. And one of the things that I said when I left ATNS was, I want to go out there and make a difference. And as whatever that means, you know, but in my world, I'm really trying to do that as much as I can, which is why this partnership with ATNS, where they recruit students from rural areas and give them opportunity to train them to be something, you know, to be to really be something out there. And that journey has really started, and we have 10 of those students here. And as a program director has already indicated, one of them is going to come here and then say one or two words. So that's the reason why I'm saying I really feel honored and privileged to be standing here today. And again, the person who really, I must say, really supported me for, because like I said, this process started 5 years ago when I left ATNS. It's Mr. Mulomoni. And I can't really thank him enough because, you know, even though the process was really frustrating for a lot of people, but he was there from day one until today, and he's still here to support me. You know, each time I have an idea to say, I think I want to propose something to ATN, something that we can do together and whatnot. He's always there listening and making sure that my ideas, you know, reach where they're supposed to reach. Minister, one of the things that you said, and I noted that here, you said ATNS is an enabler of dreams. And I can stand here and say, I'm not sure what was the context, but in my context is indeed ATNS has been. And to the program director, I think you were saying NTSU, and a lot of people say NTSU. Even Chris here is actually smiling because it's actually into aviation solutions, not NTSU. But I know it's tempting to say NTSU because it looks like an abbreviation, but as a matter of fact, it's into, you know, which is in Sesotho, it's a Sesotho name for an eagle. You know, that's what it is. So before I talk about the students, one important thing that I want to mention is over and above training drone pilots. One of the things that I do in the industry, I'm a consultant in the industry. And one of the most common question that, not so common, but one of the things that comes to my mind most of the time is, you know, when it comes to drone technology, because drone technology is one of those technologies that are growing, one of the fastest growing technologies, you know, in aviation. And one of the questions that I would have is, if you look at drone technology, what is the biggest threat for this industry to grow and thrive in the future? And this is a very right place actually to say it. And I would say it's access to airspace. That's one of the enablers to make sure that this industry thrives. Because we all have to use the airspace, we have to share the airspace. Now, if you don't have access to airspace, it becomes a bit of an issue as far as making sure that this industry grows. Now, with that being said, at the same time, then I'm thinking that for ATNS, one of the things that you mentioned, Minister, as well, is modernization, digitization, and use of technology. To me, that's quite key also, and the reason why it's quite key is then I look at ATNS, for past 30 years, ATNS mastered their art, which is what they've been doing for this 30 years. But now the question is, what's the next big thing? Right? And in my opinion, the next big thing is ATNS being able to offer those traffic services to drones. I know I was warned not to say drones earlier, but I just said it, my apologies. The next big thing would be ATNS to position itself where, again, ATNS is a leader as far as providing traffic management services specifically for drones. And I'll say specifically for drones because it's a little bit different compared to what the ATNS has been doing for the past 30 years. And how do you achieve that? Drone technology is quite tricky. It's quite in a sense that everything that you do in drone technology, it takes collaboration. It takes working with different experts and in different industries. There's no one institution in the world that will say they'll figure everything out drone related. It's not possible. So it's a collaboration. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is, as with this week, probably next week as well, I'm sitting now and I'm drafting some kind of a proposal that I'm going to submit to CA to say, to ATNS to say, how could Into Aviation Solutions, into Drone Academy, collaborate with ATNS to make this a reality, to make sure that we start to prepare today and enable drones to access airspace, obviously in a safe manner. And hopefully it will go through the processes as with the initial one, which is why we are here talking about drone training. All right. As Into Drone Academy, we offer drone training, and I'm going to make mention of two projects that we've completed, which were very close to my heart. And one of them was we have, in collaboration, obviously, with other stakeholders, we have trained. All in all, we started with 5 people, people living with disabilities. And we started with 5. However, today we have 2 who have completed training. And this was the first in the country where you have someone who's sitting on a wheelchair and is a drone pilot, licensed, qualified drone pilot. And more interestingly as well, the reason why some things such as this would really warm my heart is because we all aware what happened in the Joburg CBD, the explosion, and obviously one way to sort of assess the damage and be able to see, let me say just disaster management in general. We all know that drones will offer unparalleled advantage to that. And one of the guys who was deployed to fly a drone there, it's just that I'm unable to share pictures here. Someone sitting on a wheelchair flying that drone. And this was this morning. Yes. So those are some of the things like that I say that would really warm my heart when it comes to some of the things that we do in the industry. And then the other would be the program that we completed last year, where we had 25 students, all recruited from Alex Township, and all of them completed the training, all 25 of them. And last time I've checked, I don't remember the numbers, but at least 80%, if not 90% of them, today as we speak, they are fully employed as drone pilots, and they are working. So what I'm trying to say is with ATNS, the partnership to be able to to offer this training to young kids like the one that we have here, it really goes a long way. It really goes a long way, and I can say that personally because myself to be standing here is not because I had all the resources, I had everything that was required, but it was assistance of someone next to me who could assist me and make sure that I achieve whatever dreams that I have achieved. So extending that helping hand to someone else will always go a long way. With those words, I would like to invite Rebecca to say one or two words. The experience in doing this training. While she's making her way here, I must really say thank you everyone again for listening to me, and thank you to the leadership and the leadership of ATNS as well. I'm hoping that this partnership, this relationship will really go far, and I'm not going to stop myself as well, knocking on doors and saying, this is the idea that I have. Can you please work with me? Thank you very much, and I really, really appreciate it.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir, for the honor. My name is Rebecca Mariri. I come from Hammaskral Maubani in Northwest. Firstly, I would like to say happy 30th birthday to Air Traffic Navigation Service. I would like to thank Minister, the CEO of ATNS, and Into Drone Academy. It is an honor and privilege for us to have this program. We are from rural place. We found this opportunity from Alfred Maubani High School, where we matriculated. Transport was organized for us to come to Midrand last week to attend our classes. We were booked into a hotel in Midrand, and it was our first time sleeping in a hotel. And Usis Anela from ATNS came to us to brief us of what is expected for us for all those days we will be in the hotel. And she made us feel comfortable. We met people from other provinces whom are students with us, but today they are not here with us. Then on Monday, we went to Drone Academy. We did subject radio Monday and Tuesday, where we learned about the AIP sub, flight plan, on how to fill a flight plan, etc. On Wednesday, we went to ELP program in Benoni, where they tested our vocabulary, pronunciation, etc. And Thursday, we went back to Drone Academy, where we did our subject construction, where we learned about the Newton's law, we learned about the weight, the thrush, etc. And then on Friday again, we went back to Drone Academy. We did our air law subject, and we learned a lot. We didn't know anything about drone, about being a pilot. We didn't dream of being here. It's a privilege and honor for us to be here today. We went back home. During this week, we were doing our online classes, and what is expected of us is to be back to Drone Academy next month to write our exam. In 2 months' time, we'll be holding our license, drone pilot license. And I would like to thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
When dreams become real, we hear such testimonies from such young people that show that the work that is being done, even on the ground, is transforming lives, it's transforming situations, and it's also transforming generations. And that young person that was speaking here, I was touched. I don't know you, but I was touched to realize that her children will be transformed by the opportunity that she has received right now. Her children's children will be transformed. Drones will not be a foreign thing. Aircrafts will not be a foreign thing to them. They will understand this better. And I think it's such a beautiful story. Thank you so much, Mr. Sam Twala from Ntu Aviation. I just had to make sure I emphasize them too. It is important. Well, it has come to my attention that the program director will be flying quite a lot. So free tickets are coming right now. You can see where I'm going right now. You know what I'm talking about. The color of the tickets will be a bit of reddish, or if not purple, it's more like, sorry, my English just came to me, bagenda. So what would you have to say for 30 years of celebration of ATNS?
Good day. My name is Almar Conradi. I'm CEO of FlySafi. I know protocol is observed, but I would like to acknowledge the Minister, Chairman, and CEO of ATNS, and all the other esteemed colleagues and captains of industry. Look, I think everything's been said that could be said. One of the things that the Chairman mentioned was that one of the mandates is to provide a safe and efficient service. And I think what I can add to that is that our dealings with ATNS is also very professional and extremely skilled people that work at ATNS. And the Minister rambled off all the achievements, and we forgot one achievement there is that there's an airline in South Africa that were awarded most on-time airline in the world twice. And they could only do that if there was an efficient and safe air traffic navigation service in the country. And Mr. Master of Ceremonies, I will give free tickets to the program director if we can find him.
I think we have to start search and rescue. Everybody at ATNS, we have to start search and rescue. Thank you so much. When we find him, we'll definitely do that. We must find him. Sir, you look like somebody who wants to say something. Your glasses are telling me you want to say something. What do you have to say for 30 years celebration of ATNS?
Thank you, Minister, Chairman, and CEO. I'm very privileged to be here. I'm a little bit reluctant to say this, but maybe I'm the oldest serving member of ATNS, unless somebody else can say that. I joined in I joined ATNS as an 18-year-old student in 1976 as a student ATC, and was a controller in Durban for 25 years, and then came to Johannesburg to establish the Central Airspace Management Unit, which was an honor and a privilege to do. Subsequently, that's springboarded me into an international career for the last 13 or 14 years, to come back to ATNS with the international experience that I've gained, to share that knowledge with ATNS through the partnership that you have with Aerion and ATNS now. So happy birthday, ATNS. I'm so privileged to be here today and to share this moment with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I was trying to check in my location where I was in 1976. Yeah, no, don't answer it. We're just looking for where I was. I'm gonna find it shortly. My parents had not even met yet. That's where I was. But it is such a privilege and an honor to be able to go across generations. Anything that is powerful precedes generations, or goes beyond or succeeds generations. And I think it's important to see the powerful seed that has been planted in our nation by the great work that has been done by our predecessors. And currently we stand as beneficiaries of the good work that has been done. Thank you so much, sirs. And we are still looking for the program director. It's very important we find him right now. Okay, as we're just about to go on to the last 2 or 3 items of our afternoon this day, and thank you so much for everybody's patience. I'm just going to take a couple of guys that are coming from our online platform quickly, that are our staff members that are watching us online. Some couple of guys going down memory lane and just looking at what has happened over the years with them being part of ATNS. One of the comments that we're getting right there is from Vincent Mekwe, who says, who remembers attending phase 1 ATO at the old tower before the ATA? You know, I think that's more or less the league that you would remember somewhere there, listening to 25 years. Another one saying that, and I gave you dual at Rand back then. That is Ricardo Alfonso saying that he gave dual to Vincent. And one last one saying that Yes, thank you so much, Ricardo, for the good work that you have done. And Dennis M also saying, I'm also from the same area, so don't worry. Hammanskraal Maubane. So Hammanskraal is well represented, hey? Yeah, thank you so much. As we move on, we're going to go to the cake, rather the cake cutting, not the cake cut, the cake cutting. Yeah, let's put it right. The cake cutting that's going to be taking place to celebrate ATNS. And I know the guys at the back might probably have the right music that's going to play. And it is the rule of thumb. If you've never done program directing, we found the program director, by the way. If you have never done program directing, it is important to understand that there is absolutely no way the cake can be cut and the program director doesn't get a taste. I don't know if you've seen this. It's a common practice, right? It's a common practice across international standard practice, ISO certificated standards, that the program director must get a piece when we find him. So let's get to cake cutting, and we'll have a representative to come and lead us through that with the right music and the right order playing at the background. Thank you so much. Mr. Tepo is on his way here. I know this is a new suit. He bought it just yesterday for this meeting. So let's appreciate Tepo as he comes through. He's never worn this suit before, man. The program director says it was very delicious. He enjoyed it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First, I want to say, Minister, CEO, Chairman, if he's still in the room, I'm very honored to be able to celebrate this wonderful occasion with you. We've had the pleasure of and honor of working with ATNS really over the past 10 years. And if I had to summarize 4 words, for ATNS as an organization, I would say commitment, I would say innovation, I would say service, and community. I mean, to witness what we did, and I know Nazifo and I have had lots of conversations about how to foster community and foster the next generation, but to witness what ATNS has done here is just phenomenal. And I want to congratulate you on this, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much. I want to try that accent right now and see if I can be able to catch it, eh? Do I know where it's from? It sounds southern. Yeah, it sounds southern. Yeah, you see now. Nah, I'm not going down that road. But thank you so much, Mr. Toma. Thank you for those kind and lovely words. And I think the relationship as well is highly fostered by a great program director. Come on, yeah. This is the part where you smile and laugh. That's it. Okay, last but not close to the last item for this afternoon, as we're about to go into lunch shortly. I want to welcome onto the podium this afternoon one of our last speakers that will be speaking for us with a vote of thanks. And I just want to go through his profile quickly, and then we'll receive him onto the stage. You should see his suit, man. Major General Ngema is acknowledged as the first Black airline pilot with an airline transport pilot's license in South Africa. He's one of the first 5 black pilots in Zimbabwe who started transformation in Zimbabwe aviation, being the only black pilot in the government flights between 1982 and 1985. I was not born. He was co-opted into Air Zimbabwe and chosen as one of the crew members that flew the president as the only black male pilot. In realizing the difficulty faced by those previously disadvantaged in entering the aviation field, Major General Ngema initiated the Aviation Awareness Program, famously known as Siyandiza, in the South African Air Force, which is the SAF. He then went on to establish the Directorate within the SAF that conducted feasibility studies that drove the establishment of the National Aviation Academy that catered for the previously disadvantaged through coordination with relevant government departments. In the Air Force, Major General Ngema introduced many initiatives that addressed transformation, such as the introduction of a side-by-side trainer aircraft that would make it easier for fresh out-of-school candidates to learn how to fly. In his flying career as a professional pilot, he was admitted as an honorary member of the Tuskegee Airmen in the USA. Some qualifications that he has: commercial pilot license, airline transport license within the following ratings: a Boeing 767-200 and a BAE 146-200, and Viscount 800, 700 Beechcraft Baron 55, a Cessna 402, 310, 207, 206, 185, 182, 172, 152, 150, PC7, Piper Aztec 23, Foxtrot, Delta, Echo, and Charlie models, airline transport pilot license from USA and Zimbabwe as a professional. Ladies and gentlemen, put your warm and lovely great hands together for General Ngema as he comes for the vote of thanks. They can be warmer than that. Thank you so much, sir.
Minister of Transport, we lovingly used to call you DM. It used almost like a second name, because that was just, and the first time I heard the DM speak, that's when I was on the board of the civil aviation, and at one of the conferences, the general conference we used to have end of the year, and she spoke on transformation. And I said, my gosh, at that level, we have somebody who actually minds transformation. That was at my introduction of this lovely lady on my side. And DM, I think the chairperson of the board couldn't have said it much better. You are aviation walking in personified, and you do have the heart for the people. I've seen that firsthand, and I'd like us to give a big hand, please. I know that the minister spoke mostly on the achievements at the professional level of ATNS, and she left out a lot on the other part ATNS plays, to which he's got this very soft heart. And I was still trying to acknowledge Mr. Twala, Colonel Mpomafati on my right, Colonel Twala, is also a military man, comrade, and one of the very active guys in aviation transformation. Very few people know it. Even in the Air Force, he was very active, mobilizing and making sure that we go out to the people. And of course, you heard that our chairperson is an aviator, Mr. Majavu. All of us put together, we have transformation of the aviation sector at heart. So to the CEO of SAF Air, thank you for being here with us. One of the tasks that we were given by our chairperson recently when we were discussing drone pilot training is, after they have finished, what next? What is the exit strategy? Now you've got a drone license. What next? And we're tasked that we shall go to speak to those relevant people that will absorb the trainees, newly trained people. So why I'm mentioning this to Mr. Conradi, one of the difficult tasks when it came to pilot training and transformation is, after you've trained these black children, where do they gain the necessary experience that even the airline must be able to absorb them without insurance saying, not experienced enough, a great risk. So this is where we want to directly appeal that being a CEO and being here and knowing that what it requires to reach those many hours in the cockpit, to be trusted, what it takes. And thank you for being with us. And I'm sure I understand it's Ahmed or Ahmad. Your first, yes. Stewart, not Ahmad. Okay. I fired the program director because I asked what Stewart's first name is. Because it's Redcliffe, if I can find him. I said, what's Mr. Red? Oh, no, Ahmad is yourself. Alman. Okay, no, it's Stuart Redcliffe. Okay. You'll agree with me that in your time, blackface around your environment were almost like a scarce commodity. There were not many. And if you look back in the auditorium, I'm sure you must be impressed. Yeah. The big obstacle at the time was, if you put a black person in there, will they hack it? Those were the words. So there was a lot of doubt as to the abilities of a black person. That made it very difficult for those that were pioneers. And I'm talking to, like, even the man on my right here, sitting here, to break into this very exclusive, industry, to be admitted and to be recognized. And it was very, very difficult because we had to go past the human mind that was not prepared at the time. Mr. Thoma, as we were sitting in the holding room, made a remark which touched me a bit. He said, it's very beautiful for ATNS to go out and touch on the youngsters and to bring them in and introduce them to aviation. I think I'm quoting you correctly. Thank you very much. Yes, that became a very big necessity because we have to start right at the bottom. Some of the things that had to be embarked upon to try and work on transformation. When we talk about transformation, it's not just a matter of adding black faces in the aviation industry. As I told you, it means really preparing the people right from the beginning. as they grow, instilling those ideals and correct ethos, correct culture of aviation while you have the opportunity. And in most cases, the opportunity was denied, that you don't even get to the way you've got the opportunity. Now here we are. And I put it into two categories as the minister was talking. The first category is doing a professional job, being professional and being successful, keeping the standards high. The second one is reaching out backwards to those that had been left behind and bringing them up to participate so that we have peace in the country. Some people don't even realize that there's a correlation between inclusion and peace. That as a nation, that we must pull together as a nation peacefully. You cannot pull together as a nation peacefully if some people still feel discriminated against, judged before they even try to get into the cockpit. I think Colonel Todi, there was still a small, he wasn't bald-headed at the time when we took him into the Air Force. I think he was a corporal even when I said to him, listen here, you're going to commission and be an officer and get into the professional level because you have the prerequisites. And you'll laugh if I can tell you the reason why I said you must commission. Do you want to tell them yourself? Please, somebody give him a microphone quickly. Tell me why I said you must commission. And be truthful.
General, it was because I was dating an officer by then, and and it was a prerequisite, in fact, to be an officer while we dating another officer. And by then, we're still actually growing up in the air traffic control environment. We were still air traffic service assistant, being trained, and this is where it boiled down to. And by then, the general was the officer commanding of Air Force Base Water Club, and he noticed that and started pulling us in actually into the environment.
Yes, you cannot have the lady as an officer in the officers club, bring in a corporal to the mess. So I said, well, coming back from the background that I knew, because I've got more of the Zimbabwe, military background that was based on the British military rules and regulation. You can't have those two combining. so that's why. But at the time, the hunger was, how do we transform if you don't have warm bodies? How do you? Because you need physical bodies. So the difficulty was we don't get enough of the people to come in. But I didn't believe that because I think file 13 was full of very good CVs. And the ones that came on the table was the mediocre ones. That, okay, all we can get is this. Maybe they are not aware. Maybe they are not interested. Maybe they don't know. But okay, if they don't know, if they are not aware, we'll start a program of making them aware. It's called an awareness program. That's when we started that awareness program. And thanks God, because of the confusion that was there, it was not part of the, what you call, the core business of the Air Force, almost like a CSI project. I was given the ability, the permission to establish that directorate of awareness. Never mind about the it was not yet established there, Mr. Man. The aviation academy never took off, and I'm happy. We have no excuse. We have a minister that is very willing. Right now in the board, we've got a chairperson who is willing. We've got the president who is willing, and we must be willing to make sure that it is established. The CSI project is very, very significant. It goes outside of the norm to go and reach out to those communities. In fact, we want to reach the furthest of the rural areas so that that child, when they finish matric, they mustn't say, oh, now, what next? Minister, I was with you in escort. And that's why I learned that actually you started as a professional nurse in the health section before she came into aviation. And see the passion she has on aviation. And from the medical, she's got that heart for the people to reach out there. So that's my clarion call to all of us. As we celebrate, we know what has taken place. We cannot affect it much that has happened. It's past. It's what happens next. How many people can you as a person touch whose lives you can improve? Just like that young lady that was speaking here. The minister was almost crying. I don't know. I'm not trying to embarrass you. Especially when this young lady said it was for my first time I slept in a hotel. And the chairperson said for some people, some of them have not even been in an aircraft. That has got to change. And it is when you, who's got the ability, can do it beyond just controlling, reach out backwards and touch. With that, I really want to thank you, ma'am. I want to thank you, Mr. Twala. I've seen what you've done, and I'm so happy that you are still active in the aviation. Some people have got to. We don't want it to be like a tree. I made an analogy last year, and I've acknowledged you, ma'am, when I was in the Eastern Cape, where we were doing the Mandela celebration on Wednesday. When was it? Wednesday? On Wednesday. Tuesday, yes. That when we were there, I made an analogy about a tree. You see these flowers on the table. They are all beautiful. They are out in the air, they breathe the oxygen, and everybody can appreciate them. A tree has got roots underneath, and it's got a stem, and it's got the branches with the leaves, and where it blooms, where they get the flowers. For those that are at the top, the blooming flowers depend on those that are in the bottom and nobody notices. The roots that absorb the compost that could be, stinking dung in the darkness down there. The good job it does to absorb all the ingredients, the nutrients, to channel them upwards to the point where the leaves can go into what you call photosynthesis and blah, 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 and they take the glory. They say that plant is beautiful, but those that do the hard work down there, nobody notices. And it's time we acknowledge those. With that, I really want to say, ma'am, Chairperson Slalo, Mr. Twala, thank you for these celebrations. And I've been asked also to maybe thank God for this, who is our strength. Our chairperson has already done so. I also would like to do that. Can we please bow our heads? With that, because lunch is following, I'll also pray for the food. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity. Only you knew that today we'll be here gathered together because it's according to your plan for our lives. We'd like to thank you for our minister, whom you have kept in the sector. We thank you that you've preserved her, and we thank you that you have appointed her. It was a word of man that has said we appoint you, but we know it was according to your plan. We pray that you give her wisdom and strength and surround her with those people that are willing to make sure that her job is easy to lead in this sector of aviation. We thank you, Father God, for ATNS, for the many years that have gone past where people have built it to today, and we thank you for the years coming forth where people will carry it forward. Give us wisdom and give us understanding and revelation. And after this, for what we are about to receive and consume, we pray that you bless it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you so much, General, for those good remarks and for also praying for the food. I think lunch is a very important element. It is a very, very important element. We wouldn't want you to go home hungry. But before we close, which is my task right now, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody in the audience. Most importantly, everybody in the leadership, from our minister all the way from the Department of Transport, including her entourage, and everybody in that sector as well, including the ATNS board and our CEO, lovely CEO as well, and every single person that has made this day possible. Thank you so much. And please, when we go out, the first task is to find the program director. That is the first task. Find him. Sefen is looking for him. Please find him. It's important. It's very, very important. Right. And just before we close, a few directives that I would want for us to take note of. First and foremost, when we leave or when we finish here, I know the chairman has got an engagement that he needs to catch as well shortly. So we need to leave as quickly as possible. But we'll ask the minister and the ATNS board, the EXCO as well, including everyone as well, and Fly Sefe, to please accompany our CEO going out into the foyer just to take a couple of shots or pictures that we need to remember this day. 30 years is quite a milestone, and we want to appreciate that and remember that. So please, if you could join us just to take a couple of pictures. Once this entourage is done, or the executives and everybody that I've mentioned is done, they will then return. It will not take long. They will then return, and we'll be having lunch at our student lounge. Okay, is that okay with everybody? When they return, then we follow through, and we follow after them to the student lounge for lunch. I hope that is clear and dotted, in all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a lovely afternoon further, and we shall see each other during lunch when we eat good food.